Welcome back to the Pdub Report. We got Week 6 NFL action coming up for you guys. I'm going to be drinking some raw eggs towards the end for this week's Silver War. Crazy Week 5 as always. Sunday, rough for us. Monday, got us going again. Hit a 5-unit play. What is that now? It's got 21-9 so far on Platinum Plays. Absolutely ridiculous.
Hey, Platinum Plays have been good to us. They've been absolutely on fire. We've been picking our spots on our Platinum and Elite Plays, and they've been paying us. So congratulations to the guys that have been tailing the Pdub Nation. Happy with that result for sure. What is that? 21-9 is what? 70%, I think?
Yeah, just under. Yeah. That's ridiculous. Hopefully we can keep that going for you guys. It was a rough Sunday. So we bragged the last couple of weeks, big 12-0 on Sundays. We're not going to hide from the bad Sunday we had this week. It's going to happen. That's a part of sports betting. If you can't handle losses, find a new hobby. But overall, things have been going well.
Yeah, they've been going well. I mean, hey, variance in sports betting, I like to talk about it all the time. We never make an excuse. Ever will I make an excuse for a bet, because we do our due diligence and we put our money where our mouth is. But that Niners game hurt us. I had him in 3 spots. We had him in 2 different teasers, and we had him straight up. Obviously, the straight up was in question, but Moody getting hurt, Niners should have won that ball game. They should have won a ball game. Potentially could have covered that game if the kicker doesn't get hurt. Different play calling, red zone. They had to go for it on 4th and 23 because their punter was their kicker. It's a one point ball game in the end. Here or there. But again, that is sports betting. And some people react in a negative way about plays like that. That's part of the game. And if you can't accept that, like Ben said, get out the game. And it's really what it is. Injuries are part of the game. So I do want to say a little something about line manipulation in the NFL. We had a teaser on Monday night. We took some teasers on Sunday, and sometimes we do it in prime time. Line manipulation, in my opinion, is very important. And what I mean by that is teasers, alternate parlays, really putting yourself in a strong position. A lot of these games come down to a 1-score game right there at the end. I don't like betting my money on the last 2 minutes of the game, right? So I do a little bit of line manipulation in the NFL specifically. So you guys will see some 7-point teasers and alt parlays from the Pdub Nation, and they've been hitting at a really high rate. So
yeah, we always talk about NFL is the hardest sport to bet. It is the sharpest lines. Books have weeks to prepare. They have weeks of look-ahead lines already set up. So definitely want to get some teasers in there, some line manipulation, and try to get your edge back on the market. Just a quick touch in on some of what went down on Week 5 for you guys before we go in on Week 6. The Dogs staying hot. Arizona, we just touched on that a little bit. The Giants, they go and get it done. And rookie quarterbacks, what's going on? Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, wins. All those teams are hot. Bears the Broncos a 3-game win streak. Commanders 4-1. We're gonna have a lot to talk about on some of that. But Scott, quick before we dive in on specific segments, what took your mind on Sunday?
I mean the Commanders is just impressive. 4-1, and like you touched on, Jaden Daniels, amazing. He's from my neck of the woods in Southern California, but it's just been amazing. I mean, his leadership, them on both sides of the ball, the defense, Dan Quinn, the defensive coordinator, some schemes that he's been setting up. I mean, they look strong. Are they the real deal? We'll talk about it here, coming up in another segment.
Yeah, one more thing that happened. This will lead us into our first segment. We had a game in London. The Vikings stay perfect. The Chiefs stay perfect. But the Jets, a tough loss. Aaron Rodgers, multiple interceptions. 3 of them look silly. Just a crazy one early in the game that completely swung the momentum of it. But at the end of the day, they end up firing Robert Saleh. Now, the offensive struggles, they have the same record they had last week after 5 games, 2-3. They have the same points scored per game as they did last season after 5 weeks. Robert Saleh, one of the best defensive minds in the NFL. Is this the right decision, bad decision? Really, it's the same old Jets offense with a new quarterback at the helm.
Yeah, seriously. 20-36 over his time with the Jets. 3rd worst in the NFL during his time. Is it the right move? Upper management thinks, I did a little research. Upper management thinks the Jets are a playoff team. The best team they've had in 25 years. Do I agree with that? I don't know if I agree with that. It's a pretty bold statement. But did Aaron Rodgers, this is a better question. Did Aaron Rodgers have some influence on this decision? What do you think, Ben?
Yeah, he went on the Pat McAfee show today, and he apparently said he did not. Him and Saleh had a great relationship. I don't know if I'm fully buying that. Even if it wasn't his, idea to make this happen, even if he wasn't the one pushing it, I have a hard time believing the Jets ownership group did not come and ask Rodgers his opinion on the matter. They definitely had to get it. If he didn't push it and, try to vote for it, he definitely approved of it at the end of the day, I believe.
I agree. And there was a couple times in that game in London, 3rd and 1, run up the middle. 4th and 1, run up the middle. You see Rodgers' face, just the life sucked out of him on the play calling. He wants the ball in his hand. He's Aaron Rodgers. Give me a
Yep.
shot on 4th and 1. This is a big down early in the game. They get stuffed. Momentum shifts. Play calling, questionable with the Jets. I think he had some influence with it. I think you saw early in the season they had a little shoving match, I guess you could call it. Not a match, but a little don't hug me type of situation.
Yep.
I don't know. I think it's time. Aaron Rodgers has only got a short window here. He's got to make the most of it. Saul is not his guy. That's what I think.
Yeah, I think also the front office is going to have to take some accountability here. Sure, you can blame some of this on Saleh. Front office has to make some moves. Right now, the Jets are the second team favorite to land Devontae Adams. We'll see if that ends up happening. And then they got this issue where they acquired Hassan Reddick via trade over the offseason. He hasn't played a snap because he's in a holdout. He wants a contract. They're not giving it. Give him the contract. Go get Devontae Adams. And if you're all in on this season, you have a playoff team, this and that, give Rodgers, and he has a couple years left of maybe being a solid quarterback. Didn't look good against Minnesota. They got to make some aggressive moves beyond just firing the coach and hoping that, it's a Band-Aid that'll fix everything.
I mean, yeah, typically the head coach, he's the one that takes the fall, right? He's the fall guy. But at the end of the day, I think Aaron Rodgers, like I said, had some influence here. And interim head coach, we'll see if they rally around him and can have a dub this week to go 3-3. We'll see.
Yeah, that was a very positive trend last year. A lot of teams getting wins after fired head coaches. We saw the Raiders catch momentum last season. Carolina's type to win after a fired head coach. We'll see if that continues this year. That continues into the next topic. We saw Saleh get fired. Who should be next on the hot seat? Who should get the boot? I'm interested to see who you think, Scott. Who do you have here? Who should be gone and who should be replaced here in this NFL season?
I mean, to me, this is pretty easy. Doug Peterson, Jacksonville Jaguars, 1-4. They got a 46-point differential in terms of points scored and points against, worst in the NFL. I mean, look what they have upcoming. They got the Bears on upcoming. Patriots, they might be able to get that win. Packers, Eagles, and Vikings to follow. We're talking about a team that could be 2-8 through 10 weeks in the NFL. I think Doug Peterson is it's time for his time is up in Jacksonville, and they need to move on.
I'm going to Doug Peterson's old stomping grounds, Nick Sirianni for the Philadelphia Eagles. Ooh. Now, to be fair to his credit, they have had wide receiver issues both with Brown and Devontae Smith. But the year they go to the Super Bowl, 2022, he had two of the best coordinators in the NFL. He doesn't play call either side of the ball, offense or defense. He relies on his coordinators. What happens? Those coordinators, they obviously go elsewhere because they went to the Super Bowl. They got new jobs, blah, blah, blah. And then you have in 2023, good start, rough finish, rough start to this year. He has some injuries. I think with the loss of the coordinators and Jason Kelce, you're now losing some smart minds. You're losing some big-time leadership in Kelce. A little bit worried about the coaching going on here with Philly. They have 2 games coming out of this bye right now, much-needed bye to get healthy. If they don't dominate, I mean absolutely dominate these 2 games against a Browns team who looks like one of the worst teams in the league, and the Giants, who's the worst team in their division, who they have dominated for years, if they don't dominate these 2 games, Sirianni, time to go. Out of a bye week 2, your easiest games on the schedule has to be big-time football here for Philly coming out.
Yeah, interesting take in a tough division. I mean, obviously, we just talked about the Commanders. They're 4-1, leading the NFC East. And you got the Cowboys at 3-2, and the Eagles sitting at 2-2. So this is a big 2 weeks for Sirianni, and he's definitely needs to step up and get to the top of the NFC East. So we'll see what happens. But I like that's an interesting take. I mean, the guy's had a ton of success in his career. It's a real short window. Are we at that time already that Sirianni could go? Not an interesting take, Ben. Interesting take.
Yeah, I'll be interested if they have the balls to do it mid-season as well. We'll see what ends up happening there. You brought it up. The Commanders leading this division 4-1. That's our next topic. Are the Commanders legit? And I want to hear your guys' thoughts in the comments on this one as well, just because this Washington team, I mean, they were projected this season with one of the lowest win totals, and they are 1 win away from already surpassing it at 4.5, and we're only at week 6. So they are absolutely outperforming the markets. The game last week, I liked Cleveland. That look-ahead line that they had early in the season was Browns -3.5. It goes all the way to Commanders -3. The books still didn't adjust enough on Washington. So this team, I mean, they're playing football out of their mind. Jaden Daniels looks legit. Obviously, they have a monster test this week with the Ravens coming to town. Scott, what do you think? Is this Commanders team legit? Can they have a chance to win this division here?
It's been insane to me, but you've got a rookie quarterback leading this team that, again, was picked to be a bottom of the barrel in the NFL. NFL's got them ranked 6th on the power rankings. 6. You're talking about the Commanders, 6th ranked. Jaden Daniels, 1,100 passing yards, 300 rushing yards. The defense, are they for real? Last 2 weeks, giving up 27 points. Like I said, Dan Quinn on the defensive side, the schemes he's been running have been very successful. This is a true test this week. If they're for real, this should be a good game against the Ravens. This should be a good game. Because they got Carolina, Chicago, the Giants, and Pitt after that. So, in the next 5 weeks, they could easily be the leaders in the NFC East. And you talked about this is a crucial time for the Eagles, but wow, Commanders could be a 8-win team, 8-2 by the end of 10 weeks. Pretty insane.
Very insane. Outperforming the markets by a mile. I'm with you. I think they're legit. And I'm going to make a hot take for you guys here. I'm going to go as far to say as Jaden Daniels is the best quarterback in the NFC. Now, I know it's only 6 weeks or 5 weeks, so I'm really not trying to overreact. But the NFC, coming into this year, they have, maybe one QB in the top 10, maybe 2. All the best quarterbacks are in the AFC. Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Pat Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, CJ Stroud, all AFC quarterbacks. The NFC really doesn't have that. Even if you look at your top teams, Brock Purdy, Jalen Hurts, couple of, quarterbacks that are boosted up by really, really good rosters around them from the last couple of seasons who made it to the Super Bowl. I think Jaden Daniels might be the best quarterback in the whole entire conference, and he's putting himself into a big place here.
Yeah, there's MVP talks flying around. I know it's early, it's week 5, but that's, oh my gosh, that is absolutely insane. So kudos to him to come right into the league and just show strength and leadership. To a Commanders team, like we said, was predicted to be bottom of the barrel, but impressive, and they look like a contender to me, baby.
Absolutely do. It's going to be a fun race down the stretch. We'll see how some of these other teams keep up with them. That's it as far as some talk for you guys on to week 5 and what was going on in the NFL season. Here's the stuff you guys really want to hear about. Week 6 picks, props, the whole 9. We're going to break it down for you. Scott, we've already posted on the Instagram. Why don't you go ahead and let everybody know what our NFL Week 6 free pick is?
So I had to wear the jersey. Maybe rub it in, stick that knife a little deeper. You guys in the comments already hating. I lose 1 pick and you guys, most of you guys go crazy in the comments. I love it, though. I talked about this on live, though. I do want to explain to you guys. You guys only build us up, right? We're going to lose 40%. 40% of our free picks, and we're the best sports bettor in the world. Remember, you're going to troll everyone, so no big deal there. We're going to New York. We're going to MetLife this week against the Bengals. Eye test. All you guys think the Bengals, they're 1-4. They got to win. The back's against the wall. They should have beat the Ravens. They were ahead 3 times by 10 points in that game. Now, this is what I'm looking at. Bengals, red zone D. Worst in the NFL, giving up 67% touchdown. I talk about third downs being the key down in the game. 2nd worst in the league, the Bengals. I like the momentum of the Giants. They go into Seattle. They win by 9. Without Napers, without Singletary, Daniel Jones looked like an absolute stud. And I got a lot of respect for Mike McDonald and the Seattle defense, right? We talked about this early in the year. So now you got a 1-2 punch. Slayton had a huge game. Napers was coming back this week. Singletary's coming back this week, or supposed to come back. Tracy, 129 yards rushing last week. You got an O-line that's strong on the Giants, a healthy team. Defensive line looks strong. Going to put pressure on Burrow. They're going to get some points. But I think it's going to be a close game with the potentially Giants pulling it out, and I think the Bengals are in trouble. I really think the Bengals are in trouble.
Yeah, the fact you're getting the hook here with the 3.5. This Cincinnati team, even if they do win this game, I don't believe they can blow anyone out. The defense is just horrendous. You just touched on it. I just don't think they can blow anyone out. I think at the best case scenario, they're winning this by a field goal. I'm lined up with you there. That's going to take us right to the next one. Survivor pick for you guys. Week 6 coming up. Those Giants just took care of me for week 5. It has now been a stellar run on the Survivor picks. We opened up with Seattle, came back with Pittsburgh in week 2, Carolina in week 3, Bears in week 4, Giants in week 5. We're finally going to a big favorite in week 6. Give me the Green Bay Packers. Arizona Cardinals, they just upset San Francisco in crazy fashion. Down big late, drive the field, make it happen. Packers, I like them here in this spot. 5.5 point favorite. Not necessarily loving them to cover the spread. I do like them to win this game. And I think we're going to see, Green Bay take care of business. That is a bad spot for Arizona. And Arizona, they gave a good run to Buffalo. They gave a good run to the 49ers, obviously pulling that win. They blew out the Rams. But in their losses, they've just fallen completely flat, and there's no flatter spot than beating up and getting a win on the road in San Francisco in that fashion. A team who's dominated the division. So definitely a flat spot for the Cardinals. Packers survivor pick for week 6.
I got to give you guys a take on this. 221 people left in the Survivor Series again. I can't believe that we did not enter this. We were in Vegas at the time, had the opportunity. I mean, we're talking about 14 million, and typically when you get to the final 5-10 people, they do chop. So Ben could have been a millionaire potentially with the setup that he has set himself up for in this. And we're gonna see as the pool shrinks and he's still alive, if he'd have won a multiple millions of dollars. So as painful as it's going to be, he's going to keep posting these things. And I hope you guys are tailing.
Yeah, going to keep posting. Are any of you guys, have any of you been tailing the Survivor picks? Are any of you still alive in your Survivor pools? I'm interested to hear. Put them in the comment below. Let's see if we got anyone cooking there.
Yeah, for sure. I love it. Moving on to long shot props, huh?
Yeah, what you got for us, Scott, on these long shot props? Your boy Aaron Rodgers, he might have got his passing yards last week if you include the Vikings defense on what they got on those 3 interceptions.
Yes, I have 1-4 on my long shot props. I'm probably sitting about even on long shot props. Ben, you got the donut at 0-5. I'm going to Thursday Night Football, so I'm looking at Geno Smith. I like Owen passing yards on these long shot props. So I'm looking at his attempts. He's got it going up against a pretty difficult 49ers secondary, right? They haven't given up very many passing yards, but I do believe there's going to be some opportunities this week. Geno's had 40 attempts last week against the Giants, 56 against the Lions, and 34 against a pretty much dominant victory against Miami. But he's been putting the ball in the air, and I think that's going to continue this week. I really do. I think that he's got some opportunities down the field. He's got the receiving core to do it. I think it's going to give the Niners some problems this week. So give me the over. We'll just do 300 passing yards. I almost did 325, but that might have been a little too aggressive. So I'm going over 300 passing yards plus 330. Geno Smith against the 49ers on Thursday night.
Guys, we don't talk about this before we come on. I'm right there with you. Over on Geno Smith. Now, I'm a greedy fuck, so I do have the over at 325 plus 650. Geno, he's gone over that number in 2 of the last 4 weeks. I mean, Arizona, their problems are on the defensive side. They're still scoring a good amount, but I mean, the defense is just blowing leads late. Gotta like them to give a contest here. And we just saw Arizona get the upset. I mean, this is Seattle's best chance to throw a punch here at the Niners. By the way, time to panic if you're San Francisco. Tough road division game on a short week. And then you get Kansas City, who's going to be coming off a bye week. So really tough spot here. San Francisco could potentially be 2-5 in a couple of weeks here. Just going to throw that out there. But yeah, I'm right there with you, lined up on Geno Smith. I was going to try to fumble and find another one just on the – as soon as I heard you say Geno, I was like, we're lined up on this. That'll be fun.
That'll be fun. We'll stick to it. And maybe we'll do something fun if we don't hit the long shot prop for him next week on the show. But I like it. We're lined up for once, huh? But that leads us into the next series, the Civil War, where we are not lined up on a game. I want to let you lead this time, Ben. I always lead. But do you have a little bit of maybe a little punishment to take care of after last week?
I got a punishment for you guys. As always, comment below punishment for next week. But we got a comment on the Instagram about me drinking some raw eggs. I got a glass. I got a whole dozen eggs here. I'm going to see how much fits in this glass. We're going to see what we can make happen for you guys. It's, lost it in a brutal fashion. If you guys didn't turn into the rapid fire breakdown we did on Monday, I also lost like 17 grand on a crazy parlay Monday on that Sunday night game. So not only do I have to drink raw eggs, I also took a punch in the face on the parlay ticket. So fuck the Steelers in that game. But yes, Scott, you got my number right now. 3-2 so far through 5 weeks on these.
That's freaking classic. I mean, I don't want to see you lose $17,000 on a parlay. So, but I do want to see you drink some damn raw eggs, bro. That's so. I just asked Ben before the show if he's ever drank raw eggs. I personally have not. I did watch a lot of Rocky movies as a kid when I used to watch Sylvester Stallone chug them down, but I never did it myself. Ben BA has said it. He's got a little experience doing this, so he's done it before. Let's see how he's had to chug a Smirnoff Ice and did it in pretty impressive fashion with no spillage. So can he do the same with a few raw eggs? How many are you putting in there, buddy?
I'm going to go for a full half dozen for you guys. This is 6 eggs here. I think the comment said 3. I'm going to double it up because I have experience doing this, so I do feel like I got to at least challenge myself a little bit, so it's valid.
Is there any health risks here? A little E. coli potential? If
Probably.
you don't see Ben on the show next week, you might be in the hospital. I don't know.
There's nice 6 eggs in there for you guys. Yeah, I think the risk is supposedly salmonella, but that's just propaganda.
Salmonella. That's right. Salmonella.
Propaganda. That doesn't exist. It's fake. All
Fake
right.
news.
Cheers to all you guys out there. Here's a 6-egg chug, and hopefully you guys come up with a clever punishment for Scott next week when he loses the Civil War.
So I'm going to start as we watch Ben drink this. I'm going to start the Civil War game. We're going to Dallas. Ooh, yeah. Oh, look at the face. Oh, I'm having a hard time. Atta boy. Oh shit. Oh man.
Woo-hoo.
How was that?
It was better than losing 17 grand on a parlay Sunday night. I'll tell you that much. I didn't lose 17. It was a $500, $600 bet, but Steelers was the last leg for 17 grand, lose on 4th down. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. It went down all right. The first couple were kind of tough, and then I got in a groove there.
Dang, that was looked a little thick, man. That was about a 20-25 second chug, bro. Like that. I don't know, man. Anyways, moving on to the Civil War. We're going to Dallas. We're looking at the Lions at the Cowboys. Cowboys coming off a big victory in last second fashion as we have to rub it in and stick the fork, a little knife a little deeper. That's about his 17 grand loss. But yeah, coming off a big victory last second fashion in Pittsburgh. Are the Cowboys hitting a stride here? Your boy Pdub. I'm on the Cowboys this week. I like them to continue. I'm taking this straight up. As always, no spread involved in the Civil War. I don't need the points this week. Detroit, I mean, they look pretty strong, 3-1 coming off a bye. Here we go. Is the Dallas the real deal? 32 points on the last 2 games against Pitt and the Giants, right? Not two high-powered offenses. Previous 2 games giving up 44 and 28 to the Saints and Ravens. I think the Cowboys are making adjustments. They're going to find their groove here. Preseason, I mean, the Cowboys were one of the best teams in the NFL preseason rankings. I think they're going to start to hit their stride. Now, what I am concerned about is this CeeDee Lamb-Dak kind of feud we got going on. We saw something going on down on, that Sunday night game. But if they can overcome that, they've got some weapons. They're doing some good things. Turpin looks good. I like the position we're going to get with Dallas at home. Give me the Dallas Cowboys on the money line.
So obviously I'm on the lines here in this one, guys. Now, they played last year, and I like that you brought up the feud between CeeDee and Dak because last year in this matchup, CeeDee Lamb had over 250 receiving yards. It was absolutely absurd, and I like they're having issues right now. In that same game, Jared Goff had a couple of interceptions. You get the Lions coming out of a bye week, extra time to prepare for this matchup. Cowboys coming off not only a crazy Sunday Night Football win, but they had the rain delay, playing in tough conditions, everything else. I'm sure it's going to be a little bit of a tough travel back and some more injuries. Give me Detroit here to get some revenge on this one. Look for Goff to clean up the game. Multiple interceptions in this one last year. He's coming off a perfect game in his last time out against Seattle, 18 for 18, and you got issues here. So the 2 issues from last year's game, Goff interception, CeeDee Lamb elite. Dak and CeeDee having issues. Goff was perfect his last start. I like the way things are turning here for this one. Lions take this game in week 6.
All right, well, let's see if they can give us a little bit deeper punishment for one of us. I'm looking to go 4-2 on this 1v1 Civil War. Ben looking to even it up. I had to paint my nails last week. Kind of a weak punishment compared to chugging raw eggs. Let's get this to be, come on, give us a little more difficult punishment. Make me stand on a corner in my undies. Do something. Make me go on a date with a blow-up doll, like Ben likes to say. Do something. And let's have a little bit more fun with this. But I appreciate Ben being a good sport. BA, chugging those raw eggs. And we're on to week 6 in the NFL. I appreciate you guys tapping in. And like we like to always say, let's go. Pdub Nation. We out.
See you guys.